Hello, this recording is for Pre-Algebra Chapter 6, Lesson 4. The real Lesson 4, not the Lesson 4 I said it was in the last lesson. That was Lesson 3. This is Lesson 4. Alright, and it's about fractions, decimals, and percents. A percent is a ratio that compares a number to 100. You can write a percent as a fraction with a denominator of 100. So, remember to simplify. Alright, so we're going to write each percent as a fraction in simplest form, or simplest terms. So if we have 85%, we're basically just going to stick 85 over 100, because that's what a percent is, comparing a number to 100. So 58 compared to 100 is just 58 over 100. But we do need to simplify this. So I'm going to make some factor trees and know that 2 goes into 150 times, 2 goes into 58 29 times. We're going to cancel out what we have the same on the top and the bottom, and that's going to give us 29 over 50, which is the same as 58%. And you would know this if you divide 29 by 50, you're going to get 0.85, which is also how I determine what your scores are on your homework. If by the decimal, I turn the decimal into a percent more or less, and then I take that out of 10. Okay. Number 2 is 144%. So if I'm comparing it to 100, it's just 144 over 100. There you go. But we do need to simplify this. So factor tree 2 goes into 144 72 times. 2 goes into that, 36, 2 and 18, 2 and 9. You get the idea, 3 and 3. Now let's break this one down. 2 and 50, 2 and 25, that's it. So let's cancel out what we have the same on the top and the bottom. We're left with 36 over 25, which is 144%. All right, so to write a percent as a decimal, divide the percent by 100, or just move the decimal 2 places to the left. So if we have 62.5% and we're going to write it as a decimal, we're going to move the decimal place over 2 places and get 0.625, which is the same as 62.5%. It's pretty easy, right? It's basically what I do on your test, or whenever I grade, whenever I get your scores from your homework, or not your homework, your in-class assignments. You don't have homework anymore except to watch videos. No. All right, sorry. Anyway, so next question. About 38% of Americans are eligible to donate blood. So we're going to write this percent as a decimal and as a fraction in simplest form. So we're going to take 38, we're going to move the decimal 2 places over, and we're going to get a decimal, which is 0.38. And we also, once we have the decimal, we can stick it easily into a fraction by looking at the last digit, and it's in the hundredths place, which means it's just going to be 38 over 100. Check that out, but we do need to do in simplest form. Both of them are divisible by 2, which is going to give us 19 over 50. There you go. Next problem. To write decimals as a percent, multiply by 100, or just move the decimal 2 places to the right. So if we have 0.4 and we want to turn that into a percent, we're going to move the decimal place over 2 places to the right and get 40%. If 0.023, move it 2 places to the right, and we're going to get 2.3%, which is small, right? Because this is a tiny number, therefore this should also be kind of tiny. This, yes, 40, there you go, right? All right, and 1.75, move the decimal place 2 places to the right, and we're going to get 175%. Pretty easy, cheesy, lemon squeezy. So again, if you've got a number greater than 1, your percentage should be greater than 100, okay? Because again, we're dealing with things compared to 100. All right, there we go. All right, this is going pretty fast. We're on to the last slide. To convert fractions into a percent, first divide. Remember, the top number always goes inside the house or into the calculator first. Top number always goes in first, guys. Always. Then turn the decimal into a percent. So to turn 5/16 into a percent, we really need to turn it into a decimal first. So we're going to do 5 divided by 16, which is, and I did a little bit of the math, but ended up being faster just doing it with the calculator, 0.3125. And then, so that's the decimal, the decimal, and then we're going to turn that decimal into a percent the same way we did over here. We're going to do it over here. So if we have 0.3125, we're going to move the decimal 2 places to the right and get 31.25%. That's how you go from a fraction to a decimal to a percent. There's no fast way to do that, so you have to go through the decimal form, all right? But you know how to do that, so it should be easy cheesy, lemon squeezy. All right, 3 out of 11 families in the United States have cats. To the nearest percent, what percent of families own cats? Well, that's 3 out of 11. 3 divided by 11 is 0.27 repeating. Now, if we're turning that into a percent, we're going to move it 2 places to the right and get 27.27 repeating. Because really, what's after this? Some more 2s and 7s, right? Because it goes on forever, right? Okay, so there you go, 27.27%. All right, guys, I'm done. I'll talk to you later. No quote today.